Well, it's a big day ahead. Calumet is getting ready to feed hundreds of area first responders today to show its appreciation of their service to the community. And we here at KTBS always like to get the word out on something as awesome as this. Joining us live this morning with more on this special lunch is Community and Government Relations Specialist Lyndon B. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, good morning. Thanks a lot for waking up with us.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
We're doing fantastic, and big day ahead. I know it's a big day for you, and we need to get you some coffee, buddy. It's going to be a long one. But first off, let's talk about this big event and how first responders can take part. How long has Calumet been doing this?
This is our second year doing it. Last year we served over 400 first responders at our locations. And we're looking to see all of them again today.
Wow, 400. That's quite a bit. Now, I gotta ask you, why do something like this? You know, obviously, we love our first responders, no doubt about this, but it's not cheap feeding 400 hungry bellies.
No, it's not. But, you know, our refinery sits right in the middle of Shreveport. And so with that, we have to rely upon our first responders a lot. If we had some type of a situation. And we also want to be trained with them all the time. And so we just want to be a constant communication. They know who we are, we know who they are, and so it blends in together. So if there is a situation, we always know what to do, and we work together to make whatever happen goes away. So this is just something we do to say, hey, we appreciate what you guys are doing, not only here, but also in the community, because they work long hours, they work in situations that most people will run away from, and they go into it. So it's just an appreciation and show them that we really care about them.
Absolutely, very well said. Lyndon, you and I know that it's that community partnership. That's how we get things done. So just a couple of seconds here. Give us the nuts and bolts. If you're a first responder watching right now, Lyndon, how can they take advantage?
All they do, we got a location here at 3333 Midway. We have one at the port, we have one on Burt Coons, we have one in Cotton Valley, and we have one in Princeton. All you do is pull up, and they have your plate ready, and you can pull on off. I think most of the fire departments, what they'll do is their brigade captain will pick up their plates and then take them back to the station so that they won't just be wandering off.
That's pretty cool. I like that. And yeah, making it easy on them. I mean, these are some busy men and women, no doubt about that. They're first responders, so they don't have a whole day to sit back and just yes, relax. But no, we certainly want to get the word out for them. Well, Lyndon, thank you so much for talking to us. Would you mind hanging around for one more hour, and we'll talk much more about this incredible program in our 6 a.m. hour of First News?
That's fine. Also, I'll tell you what the menu is at the next hour.
That's right, absolutely. And I heard it's pretty good, so can't wait for that. And most importantly, Calumet's stepping up to do something amazing for the community and our first responders. Thank you very much, sir. We'll see you in just a little bit on our coming up in our next hour. We here at KTBS always like to get the word out on some great things happening around our community, and especially give a big pat on the back to those that are stepping up to help others. Well, that is what's happening with Calumet today. They're getting ready to feed hundreds of area first responders to show appreciation for their service to our community. Joining us live this morning with all the details on this very special event is Community and Government Relations Specialist Lyndon B. Johnson. Good morning, sir. Who do you have with you?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
We are doing fantastic. Excited to get the word out and hook up our first responders today. So, Lyndon, I believe that's Brian with you, plant manager?
That is correct. I'm Brian Marcinkus.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us early this morning. We certainly know it is early. So let's get right to it. And, you know, we talked to Lyndon in the last hour. Brian, I want to ask you specifically about this event and why you're doing something like this again this year.
Well, we're doing this again this year because, you know, our emergency first responders are critical to our community and critical to Calumet, and this is just a way for us to show appreciation for all the hard work that they do for the community.
And obviously when you look at our first responders, they are showing up in sometimes the worst circumstances. We're talking fires, shootings, and everything in between. Brian, why do you think that this is so important for not only Calumet to honor these men and women that respond to these circumstances? Why is it important not just for Calumet, but for the whole community to maybe take time to recognize these men and women?
Well, sometimes we don't realize what a tough job they have, and it's important for us to take a moment and say thank you for what you guys do, because without them, we wouldn't have the safety, or if we did have a fire at our home or at our business, who would we be able to rely on? So, like I said, this is just an opportunity for us to say thank you. I know it's a small token, but we really appreciate what they do.
Fantastic. Yeah, we all do, no doubt about that. And Brian, I'm going to bounce over to Lyndon in just a second. I'm going to ask him about what's on the menu, but first let me ask you this, Brian. When it comes to the morale, you know, of course, the men and women that are going to be showing up today as a first responder, I'm sure they're going to be pretty excited about that, happy to be part of it. But what does it mean for your workers there at Calumet as a plant manager to be able to help out?
I think it definitely helps with our morale. You know, our employees, you know, they all live in the community, and, you know, they appreciate the fact that we're taking time to thank these first responders.
Absolutely. Well said, too. And Lyndon, let me bounce back to you. You talked to us the last hour. I wanted to give Brian a little spotlight here. I hope you don't mind asking him a couple questions. But Lyndon, what's on tap today? What can our first responders expect? I'm sure it's going to be delicious.
Yeah, they can expect some barbecue. We're having some brisket, some chicken, sausage, string beans, corn. So they're going to get a good meal.
All the fixings. Yes, love it. I knew you guys were going to go big. You always do at Calumet. And real fast, too, Lyndon, how can they take advantage? When does it start? Where can they pick up the food?
So any of the Calumet locations in Shreveport, Princeton, and Cotton Valley, they can come up between 11:30 and 1:30. And they just pull up and some plates will be brought out to them.
Oh, they don't even have to get out of their car.
No, they don't.
All right. Well, that's easy. You get a delicious meal. Don't have to get out of your car. That's a win-win. Well, Lyndon, thank you. Brian, thank you, fellas, so much for taking the time to talk to us this morning on First News. We always love to get the word out, especially with something that's great like honoring our first responders with this. And big thanks to Calumet. Keep up the good work, guys.